Lynn Stout of the University of California at Los Angeles, welcome to the Faculty of Law at UNSW. What's the point of your lecture?
The point of my lecture is I think it's time for us all to look around and say, you know, we may have made a dreadful mistake in the way we've been thinking about corporations. I have to tell you, I adore corporations. They have done enormous amounts to bring peace and prosperity to the world. But the last few years, I would say their record is not quite as strong as we would like it to be. And I trace that to a very mistaken idea, I think, that has become quite popular around the world. And that is the idea that the purpose of the corporation is to maximize shareholder value. I think it's time for us to re-examine that notion because it doesn't seem to be working out terribly well for shareholders or for anyone else. We have this entirely artificial notion of this hypothetical entity we call the shareholder. And the shareholder, in quotation marks, cares only about the price of the equity of a single firm. And of course, that being doesn't exist. Real shareholders are human beings. And human beings have lots of interests above and beyond what happens to the share price of a single corporation tomorrow.
As a member of the Board of Directors of the American Law School's Law and Economics Association, when did the scales lift from your eyes?
It took me about 5 or 10 years of being in the business world and teaching corporations to realize it turns out that's not what the law says. And it isn't what the law has said for a very long time.
And you say this as a law professor?
I'm saying this as a law professor. This is a legal fact. There is no legal duty to maximize shareholder value. That's an ideological overlay that's been taught to business leaders and taught to corporate lawyers, but you won't actually find it in the law itself. At least you certainly won't find it in U.S. law.
To what extent does the academic community itself, and in particular the legal community, have a responsibility for effectively teaching an ideology?
Oh, we've been bad. We've been very, very bad, unintentionally. I think one of the reasons why shareholder value thinking, or this idea of shareholder primacy, became so popular was because it's so simple. It's so easy. It's easy to teach. It's easy to explain. It makes corporate law look pure like physics. It's something you can capture in a mathematical model. If we can get people to revisit the mistaken idea, I think we can probably turn the business world around and get it going in, if not the optimal direction, at least a much better direction. I think of shareholder value thinking, it's a lot like fishing with dynamite. When you go out and you allow hedge funds and other groups to take positions in corporations and to profit enormously from bumping up their share price over a 2 or 3 year period, even though that harms the firm's long-term prospects, yeah, it's like fishing with dynamite. You get a lot of fish at first, but eventually you find there are fewer fish in the sea.
Lynn Stout, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for inviting me.